Grain of sand. I fear I may have bored you.
No, not at all, Master.
Good. I suspect I may rest with my paintings for a few days more.
Very good, Master.
Gionetti, something for your throat.
My throat? Oh, yes. My throat.
Take before food.
But what if the music of Cherubini or Cimarosa differs from that of their predecessors?
Madame?
What do I care if the music of the past makes me laugh? So long as that of the present day touches me by its charms. Is it at all essential to my happiness that my pleasures should resemble those of my great-grandmother? Why talk to me of painting, an art which is only enjoyed by a very small class of persons, while music enchants every living creature?
Supposing the merits of art and music are equal, it does not mean their disciples have equal merit. The soul can travel at her ease, while sounds which she does not concern herself with are mechanically produced by the fingers. But the simplest thing in the world cannot be painted without the aid of all the faculties of the soul.
When one examines such a question, one assumes the dogmatic tone to mean a secret decision has been arrived at beforehand. It would, notwithstanding your hypocritical impartiality, help explain your decision in favour of painting.
Ha! There. Try speaking with that over your face.
Master, you're up very early this morning.
I am, Gionetti. There is some ground to cover today.
More art, Master?
Indeed. This aspect of my journey interests you.
What's painted sometimes holds more interest than the real thing, Master.
Art is so much more than mere reproduction. It is the reason I came to Turin, to seek out the southern contrasts of light and shade, hitherto only glimpsed at in paintings.
Of course, Master. What other reason might there have been? We'll uncover the portrait we skipped yesterday.
Not yet. I want to share with you Raphael. When I examine his self-portrait, I feel an almost religious respect for the man. Who but you could paint thy own countenance beaming with feeling and intellect? Raphael's Transfiguration. We see here his kneeling mistress. Raphael had announced a picture superior to even this. A genius extinguished at the bosom of a selfish lover. The portraits of which I have spoken so far pale into insignificance at the first glance of my next picture. Hence, I kept this until last, ever since I first exhibited this sublime picture to connoisseurs, to the ignorant, to men of the world, to artists, women, children, and even animals. I have always found the spectator to show signs of pleasure and surprise. And what picture could be presented to you, placed before your eyes, more certain of gaining your approval than... Yes. Thank you, Gionetti, for your unbridled spontaneity. Than the faithful portraitures of yourselves, is what I was going to say. Rather spoiled the moment. Anyway, no one has as yet ventured to criticize it. Ye whom love has held under his sway, learn that it is before a mirror that he sharpens his darts and contemplates his cruelties. There it is that he plans his maneuvers, studies his tactics, and prepares himself for the war he wishes to declare. There he practices his killing glances and little affectations, sly poutings just as an actor before appearing in public. Always impartial and true. A mirror brings before the eyes of the beholder the roses of youth and the wrinkles of age without flattery. And indeed, the slackness of Bennett. Ask the guards for more bread, Giornetti. It doesn't seem to go as far as it used to. You seem quite transfixed.
This portrait reflects the truth with precision.
And yet, for all its geometrical exactness, rare it is for ugliness to recognize itself and break the mirror. So you're quite safe, my man.
We need a moral mirror, so that people might see themselves with all their virtues and vices.
Alas, if ordinary mirrors recorded the truth in vain, what would a moral mirror avail? Few people would look at it, and no one would recognize himself, save the philosophers, and perhaps not even them.
Even now, Madame's eyes follow us through the mirror.
More beautiful than ever. I promised a dialogue between soul and the other. The time has come. Daybreak. The time of day when the other confusingly communicates nocturnal visions as a matter of fact to the soul, who, presented with a carnival of loose pearls and scattered violets on a parquet floor, believes she is at Madame's house. So this is how it is, begins her reproach, that instead of restoring your strength through sleep to better do my bidding, you have the insolence to succumb to transports of delight that my authority has not sanctioned. Authority which bends the knee 6 days out of 7, but on this day, really, madame, I shall not let this pass in silence, begins the other, this affectation of virtuous decorum. Who knew she had it in her? Is highly becoming to you. She holds her in her eye. Have I complained when you go on your visits to the Empyrean or the Elysian fields, the banks of Arcadia, the plains of Hesperia? And do I not have the right to the blessing bestowed upon me by nature, the mother we share? Soul marvels at her eloquence and parries with a second. Madame, I assure you, nothing would give me more pleasure than to see you enjoy these pleasures of which your nature is susceptible. She's insufferable as Mother Superior. Were it not that such pleasures are harmful to you. A direct line has opened. The glint in the other's teeth tells us her trap has sprung. No, no, I will not be the dupe of your pretended kindness. Your overweening conceit has confined me to a bedroom with only a chair for travel, whilst you engage in your conversations with the celestial intelligences. My comfort comes for nothing when your passions sway you, and then you pretend your insults spring from friendship. No, madam, no.
The other? Is she the tiger?
You and madame may have convinced me to stop proposing my system.
Madame, Mester?
I explained my system in a rather affectionate letter to her. I received a polite reply. You can be sure, monsieur, I will always harbour sentiments of the most sincere esteem for you. Mon Dieu.
Working late tonight, Mester? The window, I see.
Is the window not yet another portrait with its frame? One cannot study the majesty of the night sky when the sun is high. How few people are now enjoying with me the sublime spectacle which heaven spreads in vain before weary humanity. What would it cost those to look for one moment with admiration on the brilliant constellation that shines everywhere above their heads? Were I a sovereign power in this land, the alarm bells would ring each night to force my subjects of every age, sex, and condition to step out and gaze at the stars.
Would not your Majesty deign to make an exception in favour of rainy nights, for in that case the sky being cloudy...
Quite right, I had not thought of that. You may note an exception in favour of rainy nights.
I think your Majesty might want to excuse also those fine nights when the north wind blows, for the rigorous execution of your law would overwhelm your happy subjects with colds and flu.
Very well, you will have to write to the Council of Medical Practitioners to fix what degree of centigrade will excuse my subjects from stepping outdoors, but I insist that my orders shall be carried out rigorously.
And the sick, your Majesty?
Yes, Yes, let them be excused. Humanity must be first considered.
At risk of fatiguing your majesty, I would suggest an exception in favour of the blind, since being deprived of the organ of sight...
Well, is that all?
Now that you mention it, the kind heart of your majesty would surely accept those afflicted with the gloom of doomed love and have hidden away.
Very well. We will put it off for the present. We will take time to think of it.
One hopes an abundant commodity, Maester, as you bravely plot your ascent to the warm throne recently vacated by the dearly departed Louis Capet and Marie Antoinette.
De Maistre. Three times I have told you to buy me a brush. What a head the fellow has. A request for more money, is that it? What a fool I've been. Used me to feed your tiger?
No, Maester.
Not content to swindle me, you lie to me.
The guards take your stipend, Maester. Madame's plea for clemency spared me the dungeon, but did not spare my income.
How do you eat?
Leftovers, Maester.
Ah, I see. Damned brutes. They won't see another penny from me. Here, have some more brioche. I'm reminded of your father. I must release you.
Release me? You need a servant, Maester.
And you need a good feed. We need a plausible reason for you to leave my service. Let's see. An errand. This should convince the guards. Ready?
If you say so, Maester.
Guards! I need Giornetti to run an errand for me.
Errand? What errand?
A letter to my brother. This journey around my room, I couldn't have done it without Giornetti. It is only right my stipend reflects my gratitude. With my brother's help...
He will return?
Of course! I can get by without him for only so long.
There was a time you'd gladly let him go, monsieur. Bigger stipend, eh?
Deliver this letter. Proceed with care.
Wait. Perhaps I should send one of my men with you.
I assure you that would be most counterproductive. Events in France are such that my brother is wary of all situations. Were Giornetti to be accompanied by a guard, he'd see that as a sign that I was being held in captivity and the situation being exploited for extortion.
Very well.
I will return, de Maistre.
Let's see how this reads, shall we, Rosine? Welcome, dear reader, to my bedroom. You find me here, having embarked upon a new career with a book of discoveries in one's hand. No longer will I keep my journal in obscurity because, dear reader, this book is for you. Behold it, ladies and gentlemen, read it. We will revel in the pleasure of the experience I have set in store for us. For what I have to offer is a new form of travel which has cost me nothing and which will be pleasing to those of moderate means. And what a comfort this new mode of travelling will be to the sick, fearing not piercing winds and driving rain, and what a thing, too, for cowards, they will be safe from pitfalls and quicksand. For those locked away, afflicted by mortification and gloom of doomed love or suffering the slights of friends, banish all dark thoughts. I offer a balm for the ills you suffer. For the pleasure I bestow upon you, dear reader, is none other than room travel. Who, upon reading this book, can refuse this new mode of travelling I introduce to the world? Do not think for a moment that I have undertaken the journey just because I did not know how to spend my time, or was in a manner compelled to by circumstance. That's between you and me, Rosine. More ink. What's this? Petals. I can still smell their sweetness.
Enter. Ah, Monsieur de Maistre, for me.
A rose, madame, a carnival flower from the greenhouse of the Valentino.
Charming. How do I look, Monsieur de Maistre? Like one of your balloons?
You look exquisite, madame. Please, call me Xavier. Shall I put these in some water?
There's a vase just there. Oh, no. Petals have attached themselves to my dress.
I have them, madame. There, I'll put them in my pocket as a memento of our meeting.
Where is that made? I need a pin just there. Xavier, could you? I need another pin there. Just there, and another there. Just
Such
there.
beauty as
There.
hurts to behold.
Could you hold this mirror? Keep that pinched in. Higher. No, not the pin. The mirror. Behind, Xavier. You're filling the mirror.
I'm trying to keep hold of your dress.
Yes, that's it. You're leaving? Oh, I've been inattentive. Do you not see?
Madame?
Do you not see that this dress is much too large at the waist and will want further pinning?
My dear Rosine, that is not what I say to you, or indeed what I do. You always make the first advance towards reconciliation. My memory would not permit me to list all those people who have interested themselves in me. I am now to them as if I had never lived. They have forgotten my very name. And what protestations they made. Their purse was at my disposal, and how they begged me to depend upon their eternal and entire friendship. And those whose friendship depended on me have departed. Christophe. But you, Rosine, you've made no promises, and render me the greatest service bestowed upon humanity. You've always loved your master and love him still. Giannetti, I'll have some. Just you and me now, Rosine. I'll put on my gown for comfort. Dress has much influence upon men's minds. How many men in uniforms who served the king believed they were officers, until the appearance of the revolutionaries showed them their mistake. Come on, there's a girl. Join me up on the bed. Oh, it's cold. I can't see in this gloom. Let's light another candle, shall we, Rosine? There. That's better. I can see you now. What's this? I know this letter. Giannetti? No. We're not alone, Rosine. Happy the person who finds a friend whose heart and mind harmonize with his own, and sad is he who has known loss. Christophe, have you come back to me? In uniform, you look exactly as I last saw you. They took France. When you fell at Bastille, they captured Delaunay, dragged him through the gate he had ordered open, and stabbed him at Hôtel de Ville. They severed his head. Rebellions, counter-rebellions, there seemed no end. The Girondists had a change of heart, appearing to settle for a partial revolution. So the Jacobins took them for being royalist sympathizers and killed them. The Huguenots wanted an anti-Catholic regime. The throne and the altar fell together. The writers of the Enlightenment inflamed public opinion. Voltaire destabilized the monarchy, and then began the Reign of Terror. Revolutionaries. Duc d'Orléans guillotined. Soon the great fear spread from Paris, engulfing all France. No place was safe. When they took down the armorial bearings in 1790, we knew it was over. We fled, with the rest of the émigrés, to Turin, Madame too. Things worsened. Word reached us of farcical festivals, the cult of reason, the cult of supreme being. 2 years later, the convention abolished the monarchy and declared a republic. They killed the king and queen the following year. Sometimes I, too, wish I'd fallen at the gate.
Is the war over?
My dear Christophe, I fight for your honor every day against those whose sympathies lie with the revolutionaries. The tiger must be contained in France. It must not be allowed to breach her borders. And yet, Christophe, I must confess to doubts about some of the methods used by the Ancien Régime. No, listen not to my words. The tiger works by first stripping noblemen of their status and then leaving their withered minds to wander alone. Yes, there hangs a portrait of your intended. Rest assured, Madame's heart beats only to the memory of you. I cannot commit this chapter to paper, Rosine. I'm going back to bed. Stop. Stop it! Stop the chiming!
Let me tend you like I tend my flowers.
1, 2. Stop it! 3.
There.
No, not 4, 5, 6. Stop!
It pains me to watch you like this.
8, 9, 10. Stop at 11, please! Stop!
Do not slip from me. Hold on, my love.
I know well that I die at midnight.
Can you ever forgive me?
I could forgive you anything. Time to write another entry. I must reach my bureau. Madame, Christophe, Giornetti, Hippocrates.
Is the war over?
Only the dead have seen the end of war.
Is the war over, Xavier?
Fortunate is the man whose death causes others to mourn him.
What you've left behind has woven itself into me.
If your companion had a better horse than you, would you prefer your horse or his?
His.
If your neighbour had a better farm than you, would you prefer your farm or his?
My father had a farm.
His.
If your friend had a better fiancé than you, would you prefer his?
Yes.
You will always be in dire need of what you cannot have.
I need food.
Let food be thy medicine.
I have no medicine. And you have no ideas.
I have knowledge.
You have no power.
The measure of a man is what he does with power.
You have no power.
It's a greater disgrace to be robbed of what one has than to fail in some new undertaking.
Famous men have the earth as their memorial. You have this room as your tomb.
Your silence gives consent.
I think an apology is due.
The end justifies the means.
I will always harbour sentiments of the most sincere esteem for you.
Where is he? There you are. Get up! Get up, Demestre! If you don't come now... If you don't come now, you'll have no need for your purse. Nor the pocket watch. The dead don't keep time. You can keep the pen. All the better for them to identify you. Fool.
They've left. Demestre. Demestre! Still a pulse. Have some of this. Come on, Demestre. Come on. There. Demestre. Demestre! Have some more water. Demestre.
Giornetti, is that really you?
Yes, it's me, Demestre.
You've returned.
I said I would. Are you able to move? I'll carry you to the sofa. Eat some of this. It's not the best brioche, Demestre, but it'll give you strength.
Call me Xavier.
I have something for you.
My pen. So, the tiger has breached her cage.
The tiger has bite, but we shouldn't fear it. I brought a change of clothing for you.
Not quite what I'm used to.
They'll protect you.
They won't see past them. Plus ça change.
Furniture's being rearranged, Xavier, but the world still needs its custodians.
I didn't reach my bureau. I fell.
I should have stayed.
And deny the tiger one of its brighter lights.
We haven't much time. Can you stand? Steady! Lean on me. There. Let's take a few steps.
Ah, the shepherdess of the Alps. Has the revolution thrown up revolutionary art?
Take it easy. It's been a while since you travelled on foot.
Giornetti, progress on my diary stalled.
You can write your next diary entry a free man, assuming you can stop dueling.
That reminds me, we must finish our match.
As I recall, I won that duel.
Merely the first half, my friend.
How many halves are there?
As many as it takes me to win.
Ha! A great many then.
This glorious day, dear reader, the conflagration of my soul has abated, and I am to be restored to liberty. As if I could ever be deprived of it. As if there were power enough to stop me going at my pleasure. You and I, dear reader, have travelled a whole universe in which immensity and eternity obey me. Although free, I must again enter into bondage. The yoke of office is again to weigh me down, and I must conform to the constraints of politeness and duty. Still, I see now that I am double. I feel myself consoled. I am governed by a power that tells me I need the pure air and the light of heaven, and that solitude resembles death. Once more I don my customary garb, my door opens, 1,000 agreeable visions float before my eyes. Yes, there is that staircase, that foyer, that garden. I thrill with expectation, like the act of sucking a lemon. The foretaste makes your mouth water. Beware, my poor beast. Beware.
A Journey Around My Room was recorded in Glasgow by David Simpson. The actors were David Sillars, Lorenzo Novani, Jill Korn, Kenny Burnham, and Alex Bennett. Post-production was by Alex Bennett.